And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Atlanta Motor Speedway as we get ready for chase race number 1 here of Season 7 of the NNSCRA Mobil1 Cup Series. We had ourselves an unbelievable Truck Series race here last night, and get ready now for Mobil1 Cup Series events with 2 chasers actually starting on the front row for this event. And this is where it's going to come down to crunch time for these guys now. They got to make their first steps towards trying to get the championship here at the end of these 10 weeks of the chase. Cody Lamas is on the pole position now. Cody ended up picking up his second win of the season a couple of weeks ago. I believe it was back at Pocono. I may be incorrect in that. But he starts on the pole position. He comes in tied with Sean Galligan for the points lead. And alongside of him, rookie Madison Sieber making her second straight chase in 2 seasons as a rookie. She made the chase for the Snickers Cup Series last season, driving the 33. She makes the chase here this season, driving the 1 in Mobil1 Cup Series competition. She comes in currently 11th in the chase stands, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe there are 2 more chasers lined up in the next 2 rows. That's exactly what it is. Yes, Dylan Schwallenberg and Drew Austin are both in the chase, and they're both up here in row 2. Austin is a 2-time winner, got in via the wild card spot, starting right alongside, or right behind, I should say, his Kyle Busch Motorsports teammate, and Dylan Schwallenberg making his first career chase. He's 10th in points. That 18 car, though, still looking for his first win of the season. He's already won back in the Snickers Cup Series, but he's looking to win here in the Mobil1 Cup Series with a possible championship on the line. As we're going to move up here to Cody Lamas once again here. And I believe we're about ready to go under green, so why don't we get these engines fired up here. 49 laps of racing await us. Sean Galligan, Cody Lamas, Dylan Young, Zach Rogers, Luke Walker, James Qualls, James Silverfox, Austin LaPlante, Cassandra Renzi, Dylan Schwallenberg, Madison Sieber, Bob Jones, Drew Austin, Andy Timmons, and our last chance qualifier winner, Wolfgang Mason. That's a lot of drivers, 15 of them battling it out this season for the championship. As a matter of fact, I believe that's the biggest chase field we've got this season. I think we have 13 over in Snickers, and I think we have 13 over in trucks. I do not think we have had this big a chase field in quite a long time. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens here today. Some of the drivers I think we should look at here in this field, one of them right there, Sean Galligan, been the most consistent driver all season long. Let's see what he does now with the chase on and that kind of pressure. One driver who does know about the pressure of the chase, in fact it came down to a 5-lap shootout as in Joltis last season. Austin LaPlante, he's in the running here to become a back-to-back Mobil Cup Series champion. Let's see here with that experience what he'll do in the first race of the season. And a driver who is always trying to chase down Sean Galligan, Luke Walker, starting mid-pack. Let's see how he does now after the new format of points, as he comes in only 5 points behind Galligan, as opposed to the points he's been behind Galligan all season long. As we're ready to put these cars under the green flag, Cody Lamas, Madison Sieber, Drew Austin, Dylan Schwallenberg, 4 chasers in the top 4. Green flag is out here at Atlanta in the Checkers Rally 400. And Cody Lamas going to take the advantage and move to the lead via that inside line. His teammate Drew Austin going to try and follow behind him. Don't forget, Cody Lamas, Drew Austin, both of them 2-time winners this season. As a matter of fact, when Drew Austin won at Phoenix, Cody Lamas won the following week at Las Vegas. So they have had strong cars from beginning to end of this season. Dylan Poteet working to the inside now of Dylan Schwallenberg. That's 3 wide, sticking chaser Madison Sieber up to the high side. As they're getting really racy back here, but out in front, it is all Cody Lamas, and he's got to be enjoying this right now. Now Drew Austin into second, Poteet hounding him for that. And there's a big gap back there from, I can't tell who that machine is. Was it Nova? Now there's a white machine at the tail end of this first pack. Oh, that's Levi McIntyre. And then there's a gap there. McCurry, then Trent Dunham, Jessica Shelton, and Daniel Day. A couple of chasers back here battling. James Silverfox, Zach Rogers, Sean Galligan, Bob Jones, LaPlante, and Wolfgang Mason. 6 chasers all right here from about 27th back through 34th. And the furthest running back chaser right now is rookie Cassandra Renzi, as she's back here with Jacob Lawler, George Roque, and Lyndon Wright. She's on the inside line trying to work her way up here to the front now. 3 of the Turner Scott Motorsports cars are in this chase. Both the Kyle Busch Motorsports machines are in this chase. As there's Joshua Michaels. He's now moved into second. Poteed into third. Where did Drew Austin go? Oh, there he is. He's stuck up on the high side there with Chris Washer. James Qualls has gotten around him. Luke Walker now working his way up to the front. Our winner from Coca-Cola. And he's now up in the top 10. As we got a battle for the lead. First time today, Joshua Michaels going to challenge the inside on Cody Lamas. Joshua Michaels, who tried to make the chase via the last chance qualifier last week, he and his teammate Daniel Day got together in a wreck. That ended any hopes of Michaels making the chase, but very strong machine right now. And how about James Qualls? I think in all of this, he could possibly be the wild card, because this is the first chase that James Qualls has ever made. And Qualls really had to work hard to get himself up here into this chase. He did not take the green flag to start the season off at Daytona. He made his debut in the Mobil1 Cup Series, or I should say his return into the Mobil1 Cup Series at Phoenix, the second race of the season. And for him to be able to come up here to win a race back at, I believe it was Spartan, and get himself into the chase, that was a tremendous credit to that team and what they were willing to be able to go to in order to make the chase. And right now, running very well in the Panhandle, number 15. Watch out for that guy. I'm telling you, he could be one of those guys to watch, one of those dark horses in this chase. As right now, front three have broken away. Joshua Michaels, Luke Walker, and Harrison Langford now up into the third position. Tanner Sullivan to fourth, and then three wide back there with Mason Wood, Dylan Schwalenberg, Madison Sieber and company. Let's find Sean Galligan. We haven't seen that powder blue Aspen Dental Toyota up here yet. There he is, back in the 26th position, battling with fellow chaser and fellow brick Wolfgang Mason. Ralph Mason coming up here pretty soon. And now it looks like Galligan may try and go in underneath Drew Austin, who has slipped back here since this thing began. Another driver who has slipped back is the defending champ, Austin LaPlante. He's now actually been passed by Cassandra Renzi, and I think LaPlante's running dead last. Well, almost dead last. He's 40th right now. But keep in mind, LaPlante is a former champion. He's the defending champ. This could be strategy. He's been to Atlanta before. He knows what he's got to do. As there's a nice look at the pace car as we jump back to Joshua Michaels, now the leader. Right behind him is Luke Walker. Luke Walker hasn't been to victory lane since, I think when we went to Coca-Cola, that was either race 6, 7, or 8. It was somewhere in that area. So it's been a while since Luke Walker's been to victory lane, and right now running very, very well as he's trying to run down Joshua Michaels. There's Dylan Schwalenberg. He is content to ride behind his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate at the moment, as he's in the fourth position. And here comes Zach Campbell. This is actually Campbell's home track, and Campbell would love to be able to win here at Atlanta if he could. Didn't have the best of runs yesterday in the Truck Series event. Had to make some kind of unscheduled pit stop. We really don't even know what that was all about. I think he had a tire problem or something, but having a good run here in the Mobil1 Cup Series, even though he's not in the hunt for the chase or for the championship. And how about Jessica Shelton working her way up here? We saw her back a moment ago, back with Trent Dunham and company, which was back around the 20th, 21st position. She's now cracked the top 10 along with Anthony McCurry, who was also back there at the time with her. Shelton battling for Truck Series Championship, McCurry battling for a Snickers Cup Series Championship. So both these drivers trying to get some valuable experience and race time here. McCurry and his teammate Noah Hart trying to get Audi their first championship. As McCurry tries closing in on Joshua Michaels, who has lost the lead now to Luke Walker. So for the first time here tonight, I believe, besides pole sitter Cody Lamas, a chaser is out in front leading this race. And how about Bob Jones and Zach Rogers? They started way back at the tail end of this field. They're now 7th and 8th, the 33 and the 38. And how about Bob Jones? I mean, this guy has come a long, long way. And really, when you think about it, Bob Jones has done one of the most original things for a driver to do that most drivers don't do. He ended up making his debut in the Truck Series. Following season, he ended up being in the Truck Series as a veteran and then as a rookie in Mobil1 Cup Series, where he ended up actually winning Rookie of the Year honors. Oh, there's smoke there on the back straightaway. Someone has spun, and I don't think the caution's out. We'll find out in a moment. But talking about Bob Jones now here this season. He's running in trucks, he's running in Mobil, and he's a rookie in Snickers Cup. So he has worked his way up the line, and now he's here in his very first chase. He's actually in the chase for the Snickers Cup Series Championship, too, and apparently the caution is not out for whatever that incident was, as Zach Rogers looks to go to the lead. Let's see if we can find out who was involved. Oh, one of the chasers, Cassandra Renzi, was one of them. Whoever the other one was, I don't know. They may have saved it. It could maybe have been McIntyre. I don't know, though, for certain. Because I see two pair of skid marks, unless it was just the 31 machine. But a tough start to the chase for rookie Cassandra Renzi. One of only 3 rookies in this chase, along with Andy Timmons and Madison Sieber, 2 teammates out of Michael Norman Motorsports. As a matter of fact, we haven't seen Andy Timmons yet. Where's the 25? Wait a minute, someone scraped the wall. Is the caution out? Luke Walker got the wall. Cody Lamas got the wall. Nope, no caution. We're still good. Let's find Andy Timmons. Got in that second wild card position. Here he is working underneath Joshua Collard, currently in the 17th position right now. Having a good run, and there is Dylan Young, who with his win at Kansas locked himself a spot in this season's chase. He's running up there now in the 11th position. Nice run for him. Oh, Tanner Sullivan just got turned off the nose of Luke Walker. And he hangs on to her. Oh, they were almost 4 wide here heading into 3. Nice save by the 20 after he got turned by Luke Walker, coming off of 2. And we are still clean and green. He's got some left side damage on his machine after I think he pancaked the safer barrier, but tremendous, tremendous save by Tanner Sullivan. And looky who's coming towards the front. Oh, someone else scraped the wall. That time it was Charles Jackson in the 5, our Truck Series winner from last night. Well, the driver says these tires are going away. They're having trouble getting off of turn 2 without hitting the wall. And oh, look at this. Look at this. Sean Galligan and Luke Walker, 2 old rivals this whole season, one behind the other in 15th and 16th place right now. And they're scraping the walls again. Dylan Young got the wall that time, and Jessica Shelton off the nose of her teammate. Ooh, boy, Michael Norman might have to have a little talk with his drivers there. Timmons nearly took out his teammate Shelton. As they're going to start making some pit stops now. Not surprised. Let's see if any of these leaders came down. Zach Rogers is staying out. Shelton staying out. Ralph Mason. Joshua Michaels came in, though. So did Campbell, Sieber, Schwallenberg, Collard, Young, Austin, Kyle Matthews, Nova, Poteet, Jackson. Both the Hellman cars of Dutta and Roque. Washer, McLeod, Sanford, LaPlante. I believe Cody Lamas is in, as well as Sean Henley and Levi McIntyre. As here comes the rest of these drivers now. Bob Jones, I believe, is the first of the drivers to pit here for this second group. Mason Wood in, Andy Timmons, Silver Fox, Shelton, Walker, Rogers. Wolfgang Mason's in that group too. Daniel Day, Tanner Sullivan, and Jake Cole. I believe we're still waiting for one driver to come down pit road, maybe a couple others, don't know. We'll see here coming out of 4 if anybody else has to come in and pit. I think Ralph Mason may have stayed out an extra lap, but I'm not certain. Oh, nope, there he is. He's coming off pit road, and there's Wolfgang there as well. As Bob Jones comes off pit road ahead of everybody right now, Galligan and Jake Rogers also pitted that lap. And here comes Joshua Michaels out of turn 4. I think he may retake the lead back away from Bob Jones. Yeah, here he comes. He's side by side actually with Dylan Schwallenberg. That's a battle for what could potentially be the lead. Schwallenberg slides on by. I think the 18 car is going to be the leader. So Chaser Dylan Schwallenberg, I believe after everything cycles around, he will be the leader. We have yet to have a caution flag come out, even though Cassandra Renzi has spun and hit the wall. And we also saw Tanner Sullivan almost get wrecked, and he was able to hang on to it. And then Jessica Shelton almost got wrecked too, but she was able to save it. As the cycle of pit stops has been completed, Dylan Schwallenberg is the leader. Joshua Michaels in 2nd. Bob Jones is 3rd. Ralph Mason 4th. Zach Rogers 5th. 6th, Joshua College. 7th, Mason Wood. 8th place, Anthony McCurry. Then the rest of the top 10 are Zach Campbell and Kyle Matthews now up there. In the 10th position, James Qualls just moved by Harrison Langford for 11th. Moved Langford back to 12th. 13th, Andy Timmons. Trent Dunham 14th. And 15th under contest, Lyndon Wright under Jessica Shelton. Let's find the rest of our chasers. Where are they at? Silver Fox. He's 18th. 19th is Luke Walker. Wolfgang Mason 20th, 21st, but now moving to 22nd is Sean Galligan. 23rd place, Drew Austin. 24th, Dylan Young. Long ways back before you get to another chaser. Where in the world are they? There's Renzi, several laps down in 42nd. Cody Lamas, the pole sitter, all the way back in 36th. 37th for Madison Sieber. Austin LaPlante is just barely on the tail end of the lead lap, but he's back in 40th place. I mean, look right there. LaPlante just now in turn 3. And now Schwallenberg's in turn 3. And just up ahead of him, too, is his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate, Tanner Sullivan. If they encounter him, is Sullivan going to let his teammate on by and try and help him win this thing? Now, these drivers made pit stops back around between laps 19 and 23. We saw from the Truck Series race, they basically cannot make it the rest of the way on that one tank of fuel. They're going to have to pit again at some point, whether it be under green or under caution. But right now, Dylan Schwallenberg out in that clean air, and Joshua Michaels right behind him, ready to pounce if need be. There's Bob Jones all by his lonesome. Good battle raging here for 4th place, though. Ralph Mason has it. Zach Rogers wants it. He's bringing Campbell, McCrory, Collard, Walls, Mason Wood, and Harrison Langford. A whole host of cars with him. Right now, Ralph Mason running much better than his brother Wolfgang. Ralph is not in the chase. Wolfgang is. But right now, good run there for that 09 machine. Zach Rogers right there. This is actually Zach's first chase. Right behind him, Zach Campbell, we talked about, the hometown boy, trying to go to victory lane here. And look at this. Look how these 3 drivers, Mason, Rogers, and Campbell, the draft work that they did together, they've now caught up to 3rd place Bob Jones, now making it a 4-man fight for position number 3. And if these 4 can stay single file in no time at all, they may be able to run down the leaders of Dylan Schwallenberg and Joshua Michaels. There is Tanner Sullivan, still on the lead lap, even though he had that damage. I think he actually lost a ton of positions, because if you look, I think they were able to beat out some of the damage on the left side of his machine to keep him more aerodynamic. And that longer pit stop was what cost him. So that's why he's running as far back as he is. But he's got his teammate coming up behind him, and this guy could be in trouble too, Austin LaPlante. He's got a little less than half a racetrack between himself and leader Dylan Schwallenberg. This is not, I think, how LaPlante was planning for this whole thing to happen. I don't know if he got held up on pit road or if they just had a slow pit stop, but something's not really right with that 6th machine ever since the start of this race, because he really has not been up at the front at all tonight. Cassandra Renzi appears to be up to speed, even though she is damaged and at least a lap down, maybe more. She is only 1 lap down to leaders right now, and now Austin LaPlante's coming up on her. LaPlante gonna dive down low, and looks like he will make the pass cleanly on Cassandra Renzi. Tough start to the season there for that 31 team, or start to the chase, I should say, not start to the season. Right now, though, Dylan Schwallenberg very much in command. Joshua Michaels has kept tabs with him. He's been anywhere from 3 to 5 car lengths behind him, but he really has not gotten up there to the back bumper of that machine and challenged for any position yet. As they continue to start to close in on the machine of Tanner Sullivan, who is up to speed, but does have a slight bit of damage after he had that contact with Luke Walker. Ralph Mason now is moved by Bob Jones for 3rd. Campbell has moved into 4th. Trying to find a couple more chasers here. There is Andy Timmons. Now Jessica Shelton, the car he got into, his teammate earlier on, is up ahead of him now. I think she's in about the 14th position. So apparently those two have created some distance between themselves. There is Silver Fox. Right now, he's the best running of the Turner Scott machines and the best running of the Turner Scott chasers. Dylan Young not too far behind. He's around 22nd, 23rd right now. As now Henry Nova is going to stick his teammate on the high side and go underneath them. Come a couple of 2-time winners, Sean Galligan and Drew Austin into the mix too, and Galligan's going to go 3 wide. Sean Galligan, he's a former Mobil1 Cup Series chaser too, don't forget. He ended up winning the championship back in Season 5. Right now, looking pretty doggone good, as he tries to work his way now into the top 20, and he is in the 18th position now as we speak. There is Dylan Young. This is the only chase he's battling for a championship in. Right now in 22nd, 23rd, Wolfgang Mason, in 25th place right now, Luke Walker. The chasers are really spread out here. Oh, Jake Rogers just got clipped. Jake Rogers in the 19 just got clipped. That'll probably be a caution. He hangs on to it, though. Wait a minute. Are they going to throw a yellow? Caution is out. Caution is waving. And that's a big break for Austin LaPlante and Tanner Sullivan. Two drivers who were possibly, if this thing went into a long green flag run, in danger of going a lap down. And this changes everything. Pit road should be open this time. If these drivers pit now, they should be able to make it the entire rest of the way of this race on fuel. And here they come. I was surprised there. I thought maybe they wouldn't throw a caution. And why are Austin LaPlante and Tanner Sullivan pitting now? That could trap them a lap down. Why didn't they go around? They may actually start ahead of the leaders on the tail end of the lead lap. They're going to get out, though. They get out ahead of them. As we are going to watch Dylan Schwallenberg, the leader. Fast pit stop. He's down and away. This pit road can be mighty treacherous, though. Here comes Zach Rogers. Not going to quite be able to beat out Schwallenberg. Oh, boy, here we go. Is anybody going to get out ahead of him? Joshua Michaels, a little bit slower pit stop than Zach Rogers. Rogers gets out second. So it's Schwallenberg, Rogers, Michaels, Ralph Mason, and Zach Campbell comes out in fifth. Now, I don't know if LaPlante and Tanner Sullivan, if they're going to still be on the tail end of the lead lap and have to be behind the pace car, or are they going to be able to go around? But we're going to find out in a moment. Let's take and document everything that has taken place here since this moment, because this is our first caution of the evening, and we'll be restarting with just a little over 10 laps remaining in this evening's race at Atlanta. Well, this could very well account for why Austin LaPlante was not really up there at the front of the field. Watch here. He's going to be the one to actually get into Cassandra Renzi in the 31 machine. And LaPlante, well, he doesn't get the wall. Renzi does. Renzi noses it into the fence, but that could account for a big reason why LaPlante had lost so much ground and was running so far back. But that's a hard hit there for Renzi. And Renzi's car actually did come back up onto the racing surface, which surprises me why they didn't throw a caution for that. Yes, it was near the tail end of the field, but that could have laid down some oil or some debris out there. And yet they threw a caution for Jake Rogers' incident, which just about was the same kind of a thing. But that's a look at that. Now let's take a look at the save by Tanner Sullivan. Well, this was around the point when everybody's tires were just going crazy. And right there, you see Luke Walker gets tight off the corner. He's going to get up into the left rear of Tanner Sullivan. And watch Sullivan right here. Driver's side smack into the safer barrier, but he keeps it straight, keeps it going, and actually kept himself up here in the running with these guys as if nothing had happened. That was a tremendous save by Tanner Sullivan. And he was able, even after the cycle of green flag pit stops, get the car the damage repaired and stay on the lead lap. But tremendous save there by Tanner. Now let's take a look and see what the actual caution came out for. And this was just another situation here where drivers weren't given a whole lot of room. And again, Luke Walker is going to be the cause of this. He gets tight off the corner again. This time he clips Wolfgang Mason. Mason comes down, gets into Jake Rogers, and Rogers is the one that goes around for the spin. That 2 car has been tight all night long, apparently, because that's the second time he has slid off of 2 and clipped somebody. First time was Tanner Sullivan. This time it's Wolfgang Mason. And Jake Rogers is the one to pay the price. Even though he didn't hit anything, he's going to lose some valuable track position when he was running up just inside the top 25. But that was enough to bring out the yellow flag for the first time this evening. Now it's time to see how this race is going to end. Let's head back to green. So here's the situation we've been given when we will have 11 laps to go when the green flag comes out. Since there will be 11 to go, the lap machine of Cassandra Renzi will be on the inside line. If it had been less than 10 to go, or 10 to go, Cassandra Renzi would have been single file with these drivers. Also, Austin LaPlante and Tanner Sullivan, with them coming down pit road when they did, they have to restart behind the pace car. They are on the tail end of the lead lap right now in 40th and 41st. But they've got the leader, Dylan Schwallenberg, right behind them, which could entrap them 1 lap down. So I don't know why the 6th and the 20 didn't wait to drive around and then come to pit road so they could start at the tail end of the longest line, but this could cost Austin LaPlante here tonight, especially. And we'll see what happens. As here's the top 10 as we get ready to go back to green. Schwallenberg is the leader. Zach Rogers second. Third, Joshua Michaels. Fourth is Ralph Mason. Fifth place, Zach Campbell. Then it's Joshua Collard, Bob Jones, Harrison Langford, Mason Wood, and Anthony McCurry, the top 10. Only 3 chasers starting up here in the top 10. Rest of the chasers, James Qualls back in 11th. Galligan is in 14th. Andy Timmons in 16th. Silver Fox is in 17th. Then you got Luke Walker up here in 21st. Drew Austin in 24th. Wolfgang Mason 28th. Dylan Young 29th. Charles Sanford's got some damage for some reason. Cody Lamas 34th. Sieber in 35th. And we are back to green flag racing. Dylan Schwallenberg going to make quick work there. The lap machine of Cassandra Renzi. Nicely done there. Now he'll try and go underneath his teammate Tanner Sullivan, who's fighting to stay on the lead lap, but I wonder if he's going to help his teammate out here. Joshua Michaels following in the tire tracks of the GameStop. Number 18 Toyota. Got a good battle back there for fourth. Bob Jones trying to go underneath Joshua Collard. Look at Zach Campbell up here. He's going to move underneath the now lap machine of Tanner Sullivan. The hometown boy making his presence felt as now Schwallenberg is about to lose the lead to Joshua Michaels. New leader of this race, Joshua Michaels in the 12. Schwallenberg about to maybe lose second place as here comes Zach Campbell underneath him for that position. It's starting to get testy now. This is the time to start making your moves because at the stripe here, there are 9 laps to go. Bob Jones now underneath of Dylan Schwallenberg for third place. After Schwallenberg lost the lead, it's like his heart's not in it anymore. Or else he's just trying to remain consistent now and not force the issue. Remember, he's a chaser. As Joshua Michaels leads, but look here comes Zach Campbell, here comes Bob Jones. And Schwallenberg maybe getting back up into the thick of it as all this is going on behind the 6th machine of Austin Plant, who is on the tail end of the lead lap right now. And now Bob Jones, down to the inside. That's for second off of Zach Campbell. Right now we got 2 chasers up inside the top 5. 3 chasers, I believe, inside the top 10. No, make it 4. James Qualls has now cracked the top 10 with Andy Timmons. Will LaPlante be a factor in this? I don't know. He is up to speed, apparently. But will he serve as a block for somebody here? You gotta think he'll work more with Joshua Michaels and Zach Campbell than he would with Bob Jones and Dylan Schwallenberg. Why? Because Jones and Schwallenberg are fellow chasers with the 6th, and he doesn't want them to get that extra 5 bonus points in the chase points. And Zach Campbell, right there. I think Bob Jones had to get out of the throttle a little bit. He tried to get to the inside for second. No good. Here comes Bob Jones looking low. He's there. Is he the inside? He is. Wow. Joshua Michaels just left a little bit too much room there on the inside line. Bob Jones sticks it down under there, and he's looking for the lead. Look at Andy Timmons. All of a sudden, the guy who gets in via wildcard spot number 2, he takes 4th place away from Dylan Schwallenberg. New leader, the 38 of Bob Jones, trying to pick up his first Mobil1 Cup Series win of the season. He's already been to victory lane in Mobil1 Cup Series competition. He won the Talladega race last season as a rookie. But right now, he's leading the way as we hit the stripe. 5 to go here at Atlanta. Zach Campbell now looking underneath of Joshua Michaels. That's for second. Michaels throws the block. Andy Timmons now up into the mix. And look at this. Bob Jones trying to put the fellow chaser Austin LaPlante, the defending champ, 1 lap down. The season that Austin Plant won the championship, Bob Jones won Rookie of the Year. Those two are side by side here, but now LaPlante has fallen a lap down to the leader. And now Bob Jones has got a lap machine between himself and second place. This battle for second place between Andy Timmons and Zach Campbell. Quite interesting there too. It's an up-to-speed lap machine, which is even better for Bob Jones' situation. Oh boy, this is going to get really interesting. Andy Timmons, though, he's made a hold of the inside of Austin LaPlante. He's going to move by him. Joshua Michaels going to follow him through. Can Timmons run down Bob Jones? He's closing the gap, and there's going to be only 3 to go at the line. Bob Jones, Andy Timmons, Joshua Michaels, those 3 clear of lap traffic. Those 3 may battle it out for this win. Zach Campbell trying to close in on LaPlante, get underneath him and get up there with these top 3. Ralph Mason side by side with his Kyotech teammate Anthony McCurry from the Snickers Cup Series. That's for 5th. As right now it is single file. And right now the gap still remains about maybe 2-3 car lengths between Bob Jones and Andy Timmons. 2 to go here in Atlanta. Timmons has got to do something quick. And he is closing that gap up. Here comes the National Guard Chevy, trying to catch the Shell Pennzoil Chevy. Both chasers this season, both do not, oh well, one of them does have a win. Andy Timmons, he won back at the Milwaukee Mile, but he'd love to go back to victory lane. Bob Jones has not been to victory lane yet this season. Can he hang on for one more lap? The gap still remains about the same. Coming to the white flag. Bob Jones, Andy Timmons, 2 chasers. They're going to be ones to settle it out. Can Andy Timmons do anything with Bob Jones? He moves up a half groove higher, trying to get the run off of 2 here down the back straightaway. Will he close up the gap? LaPlante now peeks to the inside of Andy Timmons. Will Timmons let him in? If he does, that could be all she wrote. But Bob Jones still holds a huge advantage. Coming out of 4 for the final time. Bob Jones, what a start to the chase for this driver. He's going to win here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Checkers Rally's 400 goes to Bob Jones, his first win of Season 7, and the caution flag is waving. It doesn't matter, though. It does not matter. What a tremendous showing of strength by Bob Jones. 1 season ago, he was Rookie of the Year, and now he is going to be battling for the championship here as he picks up the win. First chaser this season to win in Season 7. There's a couple of chasers, I believe, got together. I think that was Drew Austin on the apron, and I saw Wolfgang Mason on pit road. Oh boy. That could be interesting. I don't know if it was Drew Austin. I know for certain it was Wolfgang Mason, and Kyle Corbett's car was also on the apron there out of 2, as you saw. Oh no, and there's Dylan Young, another chaser. He's got damage. Chris Washer, Charles Sanford may have been involved in whatever this was. We may actually have to look back and see what happened. There's Wolfgang Mason. I don't know why he's coming back off pit road. The race is over. Oh, whoa, he and Dylan Young getting together. Maybe some tempers flaring between those two. Whatever the case was, we will look back real quickly at a replay of what just happened. It did not cause the race to end under the caution, I don't think. But it was on, I believe, the final lap. Let's look. Well, a lot of stuff happened on the final lap. Here's a battle for 14th between, I believe that is Ian Dutta and Sean Henley. And Dutta's just going to flat turn around the 69 machine. And it's quite interesting, too. Keep in mind, those two are battling for the Snickers Cup Series Championship tomorrow night. But Henley just gets dumped. He's able to continue. I don't know where he actually officially finishes this race. But now let's find out. This was another incident coming out of 4. Oh, Dutta then comes back up track right in front of Wolfgang Mason. Jake Cole is collected as well. And I don't think it's going to be over with that. Something else is going to happen here coming out of 4. Ian Dutta's engine has expired. Oh, they're going to come back out down into traffic, perhaps. Wolfgang comes down. He clips Corbett. And there you go. It just keeps going. And then Corbett pops right down in front of Drew Austin. Nowhere for him to go. Levi McIntyre gets a piece of it. Sanford, Chris Washer, they have nowhere to go. And if I'm not mistaken, I think something else further up is going to happen because we know Dylan Young had damage. Oh, there that is. Yeah, what happens here with Madison Sieber? Oh, then Ian Dutta, after all the contact and everything, he's still bouncing around. This time he's going to get hit by another chaser. This one's going to be Madison Sieber. Right there. And if we can see past these pit boxes, there's Henry Nova getting collected. Dylan Young gets collected. That's about 4 chasers involved in this here. Wolfgang and Drew Austin, Dylan Young. Oh, and then Henley nailed somebody. Who did Henley get? Was it McIntyre? No, it was Drew Austin. Austin was trying to turn his car back around. Henley was trying to get to the start-finish line. And he just clobbered the 51, or not the 51, the 54. Wow. That was a lot of contact going on there. And a number of chasers were involved in this on the very last lap. There's Wolfgang Mason, there's Drew Austin, there's Dylan Young, and there's the one of Madison Sieber. Man, oh, and Renzi did get involved. 3 of the Turner Scott Motorsports cars were involved in this. The 30, 31, and 32. Who did Renzi hit? Oh, she hit her teammate, Nova. Oh, man. Man, a bad night turns worse for the 31 car. Can't even finish on the lead lap, but can't even finish the race. Boy, this is really going to play out big time into these points now because a lot of drivers had some pretty good runs tonight, and then as we see, a lot of drivers just got completely demolished here in the closing stages of this race. Matter of fact, we'll now look at the where all the chasers officially finished this race. We know where two of them finished. First and second for two chasers, Bob Jones and Andy Timmons, both of them coming in with 1,000 points apiece. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Bob Jones will have the points lead, and 1 point behind him would be Andy Timmons. Rest of the chasers, let's see where they actually finish this race. Zach Rogers, not a bad run there for the 33 car. He'll get a solid run of 9th here tonight. Dylan Schwallenberg led a majority of this race, had a really strong car, but he'll probably settle for 11th place. James Qualls there in 12th. Looking further down, Luke Walker, who had that tight race car all night long, he'll limp it home in 16th place, so not a bad run for him. Looking further down for more of our chasers, Cody Lamas, the pole sitter, finishes all the way back in 21st. Silver Fox back in 23rd. Galligan, we saw him working his way to the front, but he finishes in 25th here tonight. As we look even further down, this is where it starts to get a little bit hairy for these drivers, with it being the very first chase race. Dylan Young, 33rd. Drew Austin in 34th. Wolfgang Mason, 37th. 38th place, Madison Sieber. Those drivers didn't even get to the start-finish line, I don't think. And then you got Austin LaPlante. He finished one lap down here tonight in 40th place. That's a tough break for him. And then out of the race, out of the race, but actually was a lap down anyway, was Cassandra Renzi in 42nd position here tonight. So this is really going to shake the points up, no doubt about it, especially with the fact that all 15 drivers came in only separated by 10 points here tonight. I believe Bob Jones, though, with this win, that's the first step for him. He's going to be the points leader, I'm pretty certain, heading into next week at Watkins Glen, and Andy Timmons will be only 1 point behind him. So it's going to be pretty good heading into next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this evening's race here at Atlanta. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finishing results, overall point standings, rookie points, and chase points heading into next week at Watkins Glen. We got to finish up this race weekend with the Snickers Cup Series race, and it's going to be interesting to watch Sean Henley and Ian Dutta, because those two, remember, they got together there on that final lap, and the two of them, they're in the hunt for the Snickers Cup Series Chase Championship. So, oh boy, we may have a little rivalry brewing here. I don't know, but whatever the case, we will see you guys next time. You've been watching production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.